Hello, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Melissa with 1S, but you can call me Mel. And before we jump into this video, just a little bit of information, just in case you don't follow me on Instagram. My husband and I, we have been traveling quite a bit for the month of July. And this last trip was 10 days, one of our longer trips in that month. And needless to say, my plants did take a bit of a toll, and I decided to record right away when I got home from my trip. Okay, so first I'm going to show you the plants that are in this room. This is one of the living rooms that I have, and this is where a couple of the bigger plants that I have are. So the first thing I see is that I did lose a leaf on my alocasia, but the newest leaf is huge. So I'm super happy with that. So it probably is just naturally letting go of one of the smaller leaves and just giving the energy to one of the bigger leaves. So that's pretty normal. My Monstera, she's doing really well, thriving, and that newest leaf is nice and green now. Sorry, I can't really. It's nice and green now, and she's facing the window right now, so I will have to adjust her, but this is what she looks like from behind. So I'm just gonna have to maybe rearrange her now that I'm back. The plants on the table, I did put closer to the window a little bit, and they seem to look okay. No yellowing leaves, so that plant's fine. This plant seems fine as well. My Syndapsis Jade Satin, that newest leaf there looks beautiful, a little bit glossy, so you may not be able to see. Sorry about the lighting, it is nighttime. I just got back from my trip. So this is the next one. This one's sad. This is my Peace Lily, and this one I obviously expected it to be super, super sad, but it is what it is. I'm just going to water it and cut off all these dead leaves. So it should be fine. Cross your fingers for me on that one. This Peperomia obtusifolia looks fine. Just a little light. The leaves are lighter at the bottom, so probably again just needs water. This one is my Hawaiian pothos, and there are some yellowing leaves, so pretty sure I have to water it as well. But the newest leaf is actually very, very variegated, which is really nice to see because some of the previous ones were more green. So this one definitely needs water. Same with this one, my golden pothos. It has some curling leaves at the top here. Here's a yellowing leaf here. So definitely needs some water. So some of the leaves at the base are yellowing, which again just means that it's thirsty, but all the other leaves are fine. And then over here, this is a snake plant, and you can see there's a yellowing leaf right there. I'm not too sure if that's also because it's dehydrated or thirsty, because you can see that there's yellowing in the middle of it. So probably, most likely, it is thirsty, so I'll probably just lose this part of the leaf or the plant, and then all the other ones are fine. This is my Aglaonema Silver Bay. She's looking beautiful, actually doing really well. No yellowing leaves, as you can see, and has pushed out this massive, massive leaf. Maybe just a bit thirsty because it is drooping a bit, but other than that, she is fine as well. Next is my Aglaonema Maria. Again, another very easy plant, low maintenance, so this one also does not need water. I mean, it does need water, it's just not as thirsty as the other plants that you've seen so far. So no yellowing leaves, just a bit droopy at the bottom, but other than that, has pushed out more growth while I've been away. Probably like all of these are new leaves, and this is getting very, very bushy. I definitely need to up pot it because it's still in the same pot that I probably have had it since I purchased it. So you can see that some of the leaves are getting smaller. So I would definitely love to be up potted. Now I have another casualty, maybe not a casualty, maybe it will resurrect itself with water, but I'll show you in 1 second. This is my Homolomina Selby. I am so sad. Look how sad she looks. So I may actually lose this plant. I will obviously water it, see if it resurrects from the dead, but I don't really know what to do. This is probably the thirstiest that it's ever been. Let me know if you've been able to resurrect one looking like this. Oh my gosh, that looks so ridiculous. Okay, well, we'll see if I can revive this one. I will definitely need to monitor this plant for sure. This is one of my Brazil philodendrons. It's not doing too bad. Some of the leaves of the top are obviously yellowing because, again, it is super thirsty, but the other leaves look fine. Again, sorry about the lighting. I just really wanted to capture this right when I got home because I was just so curious to see how my plants looked. So just a few yellowing leaves at the top here. I'll be able to prune that and water it, so hopefully this one will be okay. Right beside it, so that's the one I just talked about, right beside it is my philodendron cordatum. So this one, again, has some yellowing leaves at the top. Definitely super thirsty. This plant I also should pot as well, but it looks like the bottom leaves are doing just fine. It's just here at the base of the plant, there's 3 leaves that I need to prune, maybe 4. I don't know. We'll see, but definitely very thirsty, but overall it's hanging in there. And then the third plant that I have against this wall, so there's this one, and then I just talked about those 2 over there. So this one is kind of a mix of plants. You have the jade pothos, you have the marble queen, and the snow queen, I think it is. So this one actually looks really good. It doesn't have any yellowing at the top or the base of the plant. It actually looks really good. So definitely low maintenance. Obviously it's still going to be thirsty. The soil is going to be extra dry, but it looks like the plant itself is doing just fine. See, no yellowing leaves up here. So that's a good thing. So I did stop recording for a second and just watered the plants that I just talked about because I just felt so bad letting them sit there while I record. So I did go and do that. I forgot to show you these plants on my table. So this is one of my alocasia plants. This one's not doing too bad. It is drooping a little bit, but it's not too bad. Definitely still needs a water, but I didn't lose any leaves. This one looks like it's on its way out, but it's not too bad. Could be worse. This is one of my Hoya. This is the Hoya Crimson Queen, and Hoya are quite hardy plants, so this one is thriving and doing really good. Definitely dry, but it could hold on for a couple more days, but I will definitely water this one since I'm already watering all of my plants. So this one did okay while I was gone. This is my money tree. Again, horrible lighting. It's pitch dark out. I think it's like 3 o'clock in the morning right now. So give me kudos for recording. It's just because I want to be transparent. Obviously I've been gone for a while, so this is the reality of things. This money tree is actually doing really well while I was gone, or did really well while I was gone. It has 2 new growth points. So it has that new section and that new section back there. And I think that's it, but still doing great, hanging in there. It was able to survive while I was gone for the 10 days, but it definitely needs a little bit of water. The leaves are starting to curl in the inside, so I think it will appreciate a watering. But yeah, so I'm glad to see that this one is okay. Oh my gosh, look at this angle. It's gonna be so gritty, this clip, but it's okay. So this is my Alocasia Adora, and I was actually treating this one for thrips or aphids. I forget now, but the aphids or thrips, they definitely took over this leaf while I was gone, so I will definitely have to spray this one again. It still is hanging on to 2 leaves, but I just had to keep up with my sprays, but because I was gone for 10 days, I wasn't able to spray it this past week. So I'm not surprised that this one was just infested or, you know, kind of taken over by the bugs. I have a random syngonium down there. That one definitely needs water, but it still looks okay. So yeah, this one I am not surprised. This is my other Brazil philodendron. It still looks really good. I did lose a leaf while I was away, and it looks like there are some yellowing leaves in and around the plant. So I think it is definitely thirsty and ready to be watered, but it's still thriving and doing really well. It would probably benefit from a little bit of fertilizer as well, just to kind of give it a boost, because these leaves are looking droopy, but some of them are looking quite shiny. So this one is definitely really long, and yeah, don't mind my husband's socks, I think, over there. All right, let's go upstairs. So right away at the top of my stairs, I see this very, very sad Syngonium white butterfly. Oh my God. So this one, again, I think it will be okay. I have a lot of pruning to do. As you see, there's a lot of yellow leaves, but I think it's okay. It's been thriving and it bounces back. It's pretty hardy. It has had an infestation of thrips, and I have it here just at the top of the stairs, and it does really well. It bounced back, and now yeah, it's definitely really thirsty. So unfortunately this one will definitely need some care and some pruning. Now I'm actually in one of my bathrooms, so this is a weird angle because this monster is just huge. But while I was gone, this plant actually has pushed out a new leaf, which is so exciting. I hope you see it. Again, the lighting is terrible. Looks like it's gonna have a lot of fenestrations though, so I'm very excited. And I'm surprised it pushed out a new leaf while I was gone, but super thankful this is the previous leaf. So I'm hoping this one will also have the secondary fenestrations. So that's exciting. See, you take the good with the bad. It's okay. But Monstera delicios are definitely hardy. Will hang in there until you can take care of them or attend to them. So super happy with that. Now on the other side of this Monstera, if you see my reflection, the Monstera is behind me, and then I have these 3 orchids on the windowsill, or hanging by the windowsill. This plant is blooming for me, which is awesome. It held all its blooms while I was away, so that's super pretty. Super happy with that. But this one, it's kind of like good, bad, worse. So this one is definitely wrinkly. It will need some water. And this one's actually starting to yellow a little bit, but it's hanging in there. You can see how flimsy and wrinkly these leaves are. But this one, unfortunately, has lost one of the lower leaves, which is okay. It's one of my smaller ones. It had pushed out the newest leaf, which is here. Hopefully you can see that. But I'll end up just chopping this one off. That way it doesn't have to just hang there. Take the good with the bad. But this one looks super pretty, so let's just ignore this one over here. This one is a sad update, unfortunately. If you've been following me on Instagram, I've grown these alocasia metal heads from corms, and a lot of them are super pretty and maturing nicely, but looks like we lost a few of the leaves, probably like 4 or 5. These look super sad, so I'm definitely gonna have to repot these, water them. Like, look at that. Aw, that's too bad. Like, they'll definitely grow, but it's just I did a lot of work keeping these maintained, but looks like a few of them are going to have to go. Or like I said, I'll probably just cut off the leaves that are dead and see if they will regrow. So this one is a sad update, definitely very light. I will have to water this immediately. Here's my Monstera Thai constellation. She's doing really well, hanging in there. That little piece there was the previous leaf that never grew out, that turned yellow. But this new leaf looks super pretty, and I didn't lose any of the older leaves. This one's kind of drooping a bit though, so obviously, again, it is thirsty. So yeah, I just watered it because I really wanted to address this one as soon as possible. But yeah, so she's happy, I'm happy. This is one of my Philodendron melanochrysum. You can tell that it is thirsty because some of the leaves are curling inward, like this one here. You can see it's curling inward. and some of the ones up here as well. But overall it looks okay, no yellowing leaves at the base, and it's still thriving, quite long. I have 3 of these, pretty much the same size, same length, but super thirsty. I need to give this one a good drink. So I did end up pausing again because I just felt so bad recording and seeing my plants that are just so thirsty, so I just watered a few of them. This one right here is my Philodendron Spa Columbia Silver or Platinum, unknown. Some people say it's the silver one, some people say it's the platinum one. But I just helped it unfurl this one, if I can have it focus, because you can see here how it's all ruffled, so it has already ripped, probably because it didn't have enough humidity this past week. And yeah, so that one will be damaged on its way out, but it's okay. It didn't lose its newest leaf. This is the previous one. Looks beautiful, but this newest leaf is probably gonna look a little silly, but it's okay. It is what it is. Now this plant looks so silly. This is my Philodendron McDowell. So this is one of the older leaves. This is another one of the older leaves. And this is the newest leaf. Like, what the heck happened? Sorry about the mess. Actually, when I came into my plant room right now, that was tipped over because this part is heavier. So it was tipped over on the side because it was just so dry that it just couldn't sit down or lay down. It's lay down. It couldn't sit properly on the couch. And sorry, my husband is taking a shower because, like I said, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning after we just got home from our trip. Anyways, so that is the newest leaf that unfurled while I was away, if it focuses, which I think looks super pretty. But yeah, so we'll see what happens to the next one. And then up here, oh, the light. There's my Scindapsus Silver Splash, looking kind of sad, but again, I think it will bounce back. I just watered it. This is my Philodendron Subhustatum, and as you see, I did lose a couple of leaves. Sorry, I feel like I'm closer than I actually am because I'm looking at the viewfinder. So I lost this one, and I lost this one. This one looks kind of sad too. So I watered that one. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the newer leaves will come back looking nice. And if anything, I'll just prop it, chop it kind of thing, and try to make it look nice again. And then over here on the right side, I have another one that looks kind of sad. This is my Silver Sword. And again, I'm just trying, there's a mess down there too. Anyways, a lot happened while I was gone apparently. So this is the newest leaf, but it's looking that way, which is kind of funny. And then it does have a new leaf coming out right there, and it did lose a few leaves while I was gone. So this is done. This is done. That one's kind of soft still, or hard still. And then down here, that's another one that fell off. So did lose a few leaves on this guy. It was super dry, so I just watered it. So hopefully the newer growth looks nicer. I'm gonna keep that on for a little bit longer. I have it on this little situation here because I don't want it to tip over. So I definitely need to give it a better trellis. But anyways, still looks cute for now. This Monstera plant is doing really well. This oldest leaf is turning yellow, so again, it's definitely thirsty. I just watered it, but the other leaves look really good. I didn't lose any leaves while I was away, so thumbs up on that one. This is my Syngonium albo. Sorry if I'm pronouncing things weird. Again, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, so just hang in there with me. I lost one leaf on my Syngonium albo, but all the other ones are doing really well. Unfortunately, but it still looks pretty, but unfortunately, the newest leaf on this vine is all white, so I will probably have to cut that back. But this other vine is really, really long, and it is giving me bigger leaves. This one looks pretty cool. It's quite narrow, and the lobes are quite big, so that's kind of cool, and it has some nice variegation This one has low variegation, but it's quite long, which is kind of interesting. So I'm interested to see whether or not this plant starts giving me the more mature version of these leaves, but it did well while I was gone, considering these plants really don't like to stay in dry soil. So again, not surprised that I at least lost one. And over here is my Birkin, very, very dry. We'll definitely need to water this one. The newer leaves are drying up pretty quickly. Sorry about the mess. There's been a lot going on in this room. I haven't really showed it on my channel, so stay tuned. But definitely very, very thirsty. This is gonna look so weird from this angle, but this leaf came out while I was away. Oh my gosh, look at it. So that's my xoxo red. It looks so, so pretty, so perfect. So I have a whole conversation about this one, so stay tuned. I do want to do a video about it, but let's just focus on this leaf. Makes me so happy because it stuck through all the craziness and has blessed me with this beautiful, beautiful leaf. So super happy to come home and to see this leaf. And right behind it, I had this on top of it, which is why it looks a little silly. But this is a Philodendron McDowell. I grew it from a wet stick. Look how pretty it looks. I don't know if I should take off the top, that way this can grow normally, but I just don't want it to dry out too quickly. So this leaf came out while I was away. And then I have a few other ones. That one grew a new leaf. That one grew a new leaf. That's my Melanochrysum. Grew a new leaf. And there's a few other things happening in here. My Philodendron Majestic came out with a new leaf, but I really don't want to dig it out of here right now. My Hoya Australis Lisa pushed out 2 baby leaves. So quite a few things happened in the cabinet while I was gone. Okay, so it's almost 4 o'clock in the morning, and I don't even know if I'm just repeating myself at this point. So I'm just gonna run through things quickly. So that's 2 of my Scindapsus, that's the Argyris and the Moonlight Sansevieria. These definitely have some yellowing leaves and some curling leaves. My Philodendron gloriosum surprisingly looks really nice. So she's thriving, but some of the older leaves are turning yellow, so definitely thirsty. My Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, the lower leaves are turning yellow, so again, very thirsty. Ultimately, everyone's thirsty, of course. This one is the Decursiva, and this one is, again, very thirsty. The leaves are all curled up, but this one isn't, so that's kind of funny. And this one's kind of going wild here, somewhere in around there. This plant is in perlite, so that one's doing okay. This is another Scindapsus. This one just has a bit of curling in the inside, as you can see. I think it had 1 yellowing leaf. Where is it? Oh, there it is. So again, at the base, so it's definitely thirsty. I might as well just pop that out. Okay, take that one out. And yeah, I had a couple of plants in water, so I had to top those up. This is another Scindapsus, my Jade Scindapsus. This leaf is so big, look at that. Super thirsty. So again, I watered it. This one is the yellowing. This leaf is yellowing, so I'll have to cut that one off, but it's not really coming off just by me tugging it, so I'm gonna leave it for now. So I think those are all the plants. I kind of put them everywhere because I just wanted to move them around to make sure that they were getting enough light, but not too much light. So as you see, I have started to pull some leaves off, but it's just too late right now. I just wanted to do a little bit of plant stuff tonight. So this is the Saltipicana, Monstera Saltipicana. This is a new leaf. Oh no, is it? I can't. Oh yeah, so this is the newest leaf. It dried out, so I'm gonna lose that leaf for sure. And then this one down here is just a leaf that's connected to this vine. I'll grab that. So yeah, and then this is one of my other micans. This one is curling. I watered this one. My big alocasia regal shield, which I can't get it all on the same frame unless I like back up all the way. It is pushing out a new leaf. I'll try to zoom in. Okay, after like 30 seconds, I finally was able to get it to focus. So here you can see it's pushing out another leaf. So it is happy and doing really well. So that's exciting. And this is the newest leaf so far. It looks so cool. Look at that, because there's a light behind it. So it looks super, super cool. The colors, the veining, love it. So I'm excited to see the new leaf. Here is a close-up of the Philodendron Majestic leaf. So I'm excited to see what that one looks like. This is the previous leaf. It was quite small compared to the one before that. This was the cutting leaf. And then now I have this one growing. That's exciting. So this one is just in a little, it's in this no drainage container, and I've had it in this bigger container with higher humidity because I just keep it closed. So it's doing really well. It bounced back from being shipped. If you didn't see that video, this one was one that was sent to me by someone, one of my plant friends out in the East Coast. So happy to see that this one is doing really well. This is a close-up of my Hoya australis lisa. These are the two new leaves that it pushed out while I was away. So that's so exciting. Look how cute it looks. Aww. Oh, there you go. You see them a bit better now. So how exciting is that? It's growing so well in my care. Super happy to see the new leaves coming out now that I'm back home. This is my Syndapsis dark form, and this is the newest leaf that it pushed out while I was away. And it's actually a lot bigger than the previous two, which I am impressed with. Super happy to see it. Looks very healthy. Not as dark yet. I think they come out light and then slowly turn into this deep dark color. Almost black or very, very, very dark green. So yeah, that's the newest leaf on that one. So I'm happy to see that. So if I missed any plants and you're curious on how they're doing, just let me know, leave a comment and I will respond. I just wanted to actually show you the time, that way you don't think I'm kidding. So maybe it will focus. So there it is. It is 4:10 a.m. So I definitely need to go back to bed, or not go back to bed. I need to go to bed. I can't even talk anymore. So yeah, let me know if there's any other plants that you're kind of curious about. One plant that I didn't talk about was my bird of paradise that's downstairs. And also my philodendron Soderoy AF. Or AFF, I forget. Actually, let me show you that one. Actually, before I show you my philodendron Soderoy, I'm just gonna show you another Hoya. Hoya are honestly reliable plants, especially if you do travel a lot or tend to be away a lot. So here's the newest leaf here. It's quite glossy, so I may not catch it on the camera. And then there's this beautiful one right here, which again is quite glossy. The camera may not catch it. But this is one of the previous leaves. Look how dark and look how big that is. So this one definitely is happy. I gave it a water because it was dry, but it's loving the trellis that I have provided. And yeah, just definitely going crazy. But anyways, okay, now let's go see my philodendron Soderoy. Here's my philodendron Soderoy AF, I think it is. I forget what specifically, which type or variety it is. It's not a full Soderoy, it's kind of like the one that looks like it. But anyways, this one did get thrips, and I was worried that when I came back from my vacation, I would have lost one of these leaves. But they don't look too bad. There's a little bit of damage at the end and right there. And I'm gonna try not to let it fall down here. Here you see this older leaf died off, and then that's the newest growth point there. It definitely was super, super dry. I just watered it, so hopefully it will bounce back. So yeah, just some minor damage or drying, but there's a new growth point, so that's exciting. Here's my Philodendron Cebu Blue. Before I left, I put it here and it's hanging off of my shower curtain because it was turning color in the cabinet and I wasn't too sure why. I wasn't too sure if it was getting burned or drying out or if there was pests, so I did spray it. And if you, again, follow me on Instagram, I posted whether or not I should cut this big, or not big, thick, long aerial root that I found at the back of the cabinet. I'm like, what the, oh my Lanta. So a lot of people said not to cut it, so I kept it there until I guess it gets in the way or whatever. But this plant did really well while I was away. It gets some sun because it's right beside this window. But yeah, it's looking quite full and hopefully it's happier now that I'm able to, you know, give it a bit more light and hang it or potentially let it crawl, or not crawl, well, I guess crawl upwards. But anyways, that's a separate project that I have going on. This is my long Philodendron cordatum. You may have seen it on a reel on my Instagram, but it's quite long. I did lose a couple of leaves, so here's a yellow leaf, here's a yellowing leaf, but overall it looks pretty good, pretty healthy. For sure it needs a watering because this is a south facing window, and I think it does love it, but does dry out a lot quicker than a lot of my other plants. But it looks like it's doing well. I think it let go of the wall here, but that's okay. The leaves are getting a little smaller, so I'll probably have to give it a bit of fertilizer. But overall, looks good to me. Okay, so it is the next day because I was just so tired last night that I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna continue recording tomorrow. And I could also show you a couple of plants I did water yesterday that did perk up, so I'll show you those in just a moment. But I didn't show you my bird of paradise, which is also very thirsty. This leaf is super yellow. It is an older leaf, so again, I'm not too worried. I'll just chop this one off once it's more soft on the petiole or the stem. It doesn't show any new growth yet, but definitely needs a water. You can see that the top is kind of curving a bit. I mean, that's cut, but aside from that, the other leaves look okay. It's just once it starts drooping down, then obviously it's thirsty. So this one will have to go. Sorry, my husband's outside cutting the grass. The other plant or plants I wanted to show you were my aloe. So a lot of people think aloe don't need water, but they definitely do. So while I was away, this plant is showing that it is thirsty, dehydrated because of the way that the leaves are curling. So this one definitely needs a water. The leaves are a lot thinner, and like I said, they're curling inwards, like all of them are. So this plant definitely needs a good water. So don't forget about your aloe. They do still need water. This one is not too bad. The leaves closer to the middle are still pretty thick and juicy, I guess, but the ones on the ends are also showing that they need a bit of water. So don't forget about your aloe. This is the peace lily that I watered yesterday, and as you can see, it is perking up, which is nice to see. I may give it another drink in a day, maybe tomorrow, maybe not today, just let it soak up whatever water it used yesterday. But I will be definitely watering this again because it just needs to soak up a bit more of that moisture or nutrients. So these leaves will obviously have to be cut. But again, I'm repeating myself, but these are all lower leaves, so not too worried. The top part of the plant looks like it perked up nicely. Obviously not ideal, but still it will survive. This plant probably takes the cake of the most dramatic plant ever. So like you saw yesterday, it was completely droopy, looked like it was already dead, probably dead a few days ago, but look at her now. So definitely this plant is the most dramatic plant ever. You can see that a couple of the leaves have crisp on the ends, so that is totally normal. because again, it's drying out completely. And it does have a new growth point right here. Let me just turn it so you can see it. So this is a new leaf, which is huge, and I think it will survive now that I've watered it. I probably will monitor this one as well and water it in a day or two. So those are probably the two plants that I would worry about the most, besides the plants that were in moss. But definitely the most dramatic plant goes to this Homalomena selby.